There we go. We're starting to see some viewers. There's Michelle. All right. It looks like everybody's finding us. Tatiana's here. Latoya's here. Mary James. I'm going to move this down a little bit so you guys can see my face instead of seeing comments. There we go. All right. Welcome to Magic Beans. Pardon me, I've got a little throat drop in my throat. Feeling a little like I'm trying to catch a small cold or something, so apologize. I know that's annoying when somebody's talking and they have a cough drop or something in, but that's better than having me cough and sniffle through the whole event. So tonight we're going to talk about how you can have healthy hormone support at every age and every stage of your life, from teen girls all the way to post-menopausal grandmas. And we're going to show you how you can get started on a basic regimen that's going to help support those hormones for about $135. And because you get started with this, we will give you a promotional coupon code, and you can get $100 in free oils with your next order in February. So we're going to start out talking about 3 oils tonight, and then a little extra product we've added into our little bundle we're going to talk about. This bundle specifically will qualify you for that $100 free oil shopping spree. Of course, there's lots of ways to get started with doTERRA. This is just one example, and we specifically wanted to focus on helping women support their hormone health. My name is Deanna Nichols. I'm a doTERRA Blue Diamond, and I've been using the doTERRA essential oils for over 6 years now, and I've been doing this as a business for about almost 5 years. I guess it'll be 5 years the end of next month, and we have team members all over the world, all over the country, who work together with us to follow a healthy lifestyle using essential oils as part of our daily wellness regimen. And essential oils are things that can be used daily to support normal functions of the body. They can also be used to give you extra support when maybe something's not quite going well. So like right now, I mentioned I have a little sniffly stuff going on, so I've got a throat drop in. I put a little breathe around my nose so I wouldn't be all snuffleupagus during my Magic Beans tonight. So that would be one of those situations. Every day I use essential oils and I take supplements to help keep some of these things away. I've been around lots and lots of people the past week, so maybe I'm trying to pick up a little bug, but we're going to fight that with our oils. So let's say that you are struggling in some area of your hormones. Okay, so I am sort of the poster girl for this topic because I struggled most of my life with hormone health. It started at around the age of 12 when I was hitting my puberty years, and I really struggled with that. I had a lot of issues come up, and so I can certainly attest to how those struggles can affect somebody at that age. And then, of course, I have had a child, so I've been through pregnancy, and I'm also at 40, so I'm heading into those perimenopausal years. And so I've been through a lot of different stages. And I'll tell you that I've had the most success when following a whole food healthy diet and adding doTERRA essential oils and doTERRA supplements into my regimen. And I really did struggle for a lot of years with my reproductive system, 15 years of infertility, so I have a lot of experience in this area. And the thing is that because essential oils are so adaptogenic, I don't know if you can really be so adaptogenic. I think you can just be adaptogenic or not adaptogenic, but adaptogenic basically just means that when you use an essential oil, it just gives your body information, and then your body interprets that information, and it takes away from that what it needs. Medications can't do that. Medications are specifically designed to target a specific thing. You don't have to be that specific with essential oils, because the essential oils have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, sometimes up to 1,000 different things in there that are good for you. And so that's why, whether you're having hormone issues because you are a teenage girl or a preteen girl, or whether you have already had a hysterectomy and you don't even have any female reproductive organs anymore, it doesn't matter, because your body still makes hormones at every stage of life, and you still want those to be in harmony and in balance and in proper amounts. Otherwise, when things get out of balance, when one thing gets out of balance, it throws all the other hormones off, because they kind of work together and play off of each other. So first, let's kick a few myths to the curb and get those out of the way. There are some myths out there. Now, I know that the internet is a great place to get information, but it's not always the best place to get accurate information, okay? So I've read lots of really silly things about essential oils on the internet. And one of the things that I have seen on multiple occasions is that essential oils, you got to be really careful, because if you use essential oils, they'll cause your body to make all this excess estrogen. And first of all, let's go back to the previous statement that oils are adaptogenic. So they don't cause your body to do anything it's not supposed to do naturally. It's going to bring things into balance. So it's not going to cause you to have an imbalance of your hormones, okay? So that's the first myth. The second myth is that all essential oils are created equal. That is absolutely untrue. One of the leading third-party testing and research essential oil bodies has put out a statement recently saying that 80% of essential oils are adulterated. That means that a lot of them, most of them, in fact, are contaminated, mislabeled, or have been doctored in some way. So they probably contain some synthetics. Anything that contains synthetic fragrance that didn't come directly from an untampered with plant that occurred in nature, is going to have hormone disruptors. It's going to disrupt the process of your body's hormone production. So we're talking about things like essential oils. 80% of essential oils are going to cause hormone issues for you. We're talking about perfumes and colognes. We're talking about fragranced body washes, air fresheners, fabric softener, detergents, anything like that has a fragrance. So even really, really good, healthy body care and skincare products that have been fragranced with 80% of the world's essential oils are going to be unhealthy for you. So that's why I like to stick with doTERRA, because we don't just tell you, hey, these oils are great. We actually allow you to verify that information. And how you can do that is, if you take this bottle of frankincense, for example, plug in the number on the bottom of this bottle into our website, which is called sourcetoyou.com. You can check up on us and make sure that we are really giving you the product that's being promised. Making sure that you're actually getting the species of oil that you think it is, that this is actually labeled correctly. There's nothing synthetic. There's no contaminants. All of that you can verify yourself. And it's the testing done on this bottle you're holding in your hand. So that should make you, as a human, as a mom, as a person, just to feel safe and confident using these essential oils, okay? So with that introduction, we're going to dive into these 3 essential oils that I think are really going to help any woman at any age. And before I do that, though, I want to welcome all of our guests. So let me get my comments back over here. See if I can see our comments. There we go. Hey, Linda, how are you? If you are a first-time guest, that means that you have never been to a Magic Beans event before. You've never seen one of these. And you are also not a doTERRA wholesale member. Then we have a free gift for you. And how you can get that is you can comment below and say, I am a guest of, and then tag the person that invited you. If you don't know who invited you, then you're a guest of the page. So you can say, I am a guest of the page. And then we will send a private message to you with a link to a free ebook that's going to tell you how you can have daily wellness habits that are going to help upgrade your wellness using doTERRA essential oils. And that's a free ebook for every first-time guest who's not a doTERRA member. If you are one of my personal guests, I will contact you as well with another personal offer from me. And so if you're a guest of me or a guest of the page, so whoever just said I invited myself, you're my guest, so make sure you say that so you can get that extra offer from me as well. Everybody who comments that they're a guest is going to be entered into a drawing to win a 5 milliliter of essential oil, and that's only for live viewers on this broadcast. So make sure that you comment, because we cannot read your mind, so make sure that you know that you have to comment in order to be entered in there. Lots and lots of guests here. All right, Crystal, thank you for being here. Casey, there you go. Okay, so let's dive right in. Okay, so the 3 oils that we're going to talk about are Clary Calm, Neroli, that's a weird name, I like to say Neroli, and Whisper. Okay, so 2 of these are blends that have been specifically designed by our chemists, and then 1 is a single oil. Neroli is a single oil. So I'm going to tell you why these 3 oils together are like the magical. Hey Gail, I'm glad you're here. Hello Kim. Make sure if you're commenting you're a guest that you are not a doTERRA member and that this is your very first Magic Beans, okay? Alright, so this is the trifecta of hormone balance, okay? So I'll tell you where I got started. I got started with Clary Calm. So Clary Calm is a mixture of, it's got clary sage, which we know is really good for hormone balance. It has lavender, it has bergamot. Bergamot is a really, really calming oil, really great for women, very empowering to women and their self-confidence. Roman chamomile, which is another calming oil. Ylang ylang, great for hormones, great for calming. Cedarwood, another calming oil. Geranium, calming and great for women's hormones. Fennel, carrot seed, palmarosa, and vitex. Vitex is actually allows your body to naturally produce progesterone, which is super, super important for women's hormone health. So this is called the monthly blend for women, and so for that reason it's kind of gotten a little bit of a reputation for being for like PMS or that time of the month. And when I investigated the ingredients of this amazing roller blend, I actually realized immediately that this was much more than a PMS blend or much more than something to help you with your cramps. I realized that the oils that were in this blend were very supportive to your body naturally producing the hormones it was supposed to produce. And so I know many of us struggle with that. And it leads to all different types of health concerns, including just really struggling with fertility, really struggling with your monthly cycle. You can be struggling with your weight as a result of hormones. You can be struggling with skin issues. Lots of things are tied in to your hormone production. Your emotions are drastically related to this. And so it can really affect a lot of different areas of your life. And I think as women, we often get diagnosed with multiple things, and really if our hormones were in balance, then those things would sort of just resolve on their own. And so again, it just comes back to not necessarily fixing a problem, but giving your body better information so it can do what it's supposed to do. Now I have to say, like I mentioned before, there are definitely things that we should eliminate from our lives, things that we can control, like dairy and meat products that have been injected and treated with antibiotics and injected with hormones. The animals have probably been fed unhealthy diets instead of allowing to roam free and eat their natural diet. So those are all things that if we introduce those into our diet, same thing with eggs, like whether you're getting organic or cage-free eggs, a lot of times you can still be getting things that are damaging to your health. And so if you're going to eat animal products, you want to be very careful that those animals are allowed in the most natural habitat. They're allowed to roam and find and forage for their own food. They're not treated with pesticides, they're not treated with antibiotics, and they're certainly not injected with hormones. And so that is certainly going to affect your health as well. So you can certainly make better diet choices. That's number 1. Number 2, you can avoid plastics as much as possible. It's really hard to avoid plastics in our world. Hey Charlene, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to your first Magic Beans. And but plastics are everywhere, but there are some times where you can make better choices. Okay, so I'll just give you a real easy example. I know millions of homes in the US, every morning, first thing people do, they put on a pot of coffee. And I'm here to tell you that when you put hot liquids, especially acidic fluids like coffee, if you introduce that into a plastic environment and you're heating hot water through that, or you're putting plastics in a microwave or anything like that, you're leaching out hormone disruptive toxins into your body. And so a real simple way to fix that would be to switch to a French coffee press, which is like a little glass thing, and all you do is you put your coffee in the bottom, pour water in, 3 minutes, you got coffee. So it's the only step that you have to do extra there is heat up your own water. Okay, it really only takes however long it takes to put a kettle on and let the water boil. And so that extra step can seriously be a major improvement for your health. So that's just one simple example of where you can eliminate a toxin. Certainly eliminating fabric softener from your life should be in your top 5 things that you do. Something I would start like tomorrow is taking your fabric softener, getting it out of your house. Because if you've been using fabric softener, it's going to take months, maybe even years, for it to get out of your clothes, because what it does is it grabs onto the fibers of your clothes, and then as you're wearing your clothes all day, it's getting that right into your skin and introducing it into your bloodstream. Extremely toxic to your hormones. If you're using antibacterial soaps and cleaners, full of hormone disruptors. So doTERRA actually has an On Guard hand soap that I strongly prefer. I even take it with me when I am using public restrooms or other people's restrooms, because I don't want to introduce toxins that are going to disrupt my hormones, because I know that there are so many things out there that I can't control, and that's something that I can control. So your food, your plastics, certainly anything with synthetic fragrances, inferior essential oils, air fresheners, perfumes, things that have a fragrance, candles, just avoid that whole section of the store with all the fragranced soaps and things. And then of course, it's really good to then introduce some things that are going to help your body to get rid of any toxins. And so the Clary Calm is step number 1. And how I like to use this is I like to apply it over my lower abdomen every morning and every night, every day. I would start your little girls on this before they ever have their first cycle. Moms, you know when it's getting to be that time and you start to see those mood swings and everything happening, introduce this into your daughter's life daily. This is for every woman at every phase of life. So you're like, I don't have female reproductive hormones. Yes, you do. If your body gets rid of, if for some reason you've gotten rid of those organs or they no longer produce, you have other organs like your adrenals that will step in and will be producing hormones. And so you want to make sure that the hormones are in balance. So this is great. Super amazing for people to really embrace their feminine side, embrace the fact that you are a potential creator of life, that you have that ability, that you have that maternal ability in your body, something to love and respect about yourself, and it helps emotionally with that as well. So any of you women out there that have had sort of a self-loathing towards your femininity, maybe because you've been abused or attacked or marginalized because of you being a woman, this I can tell you from personal experience that the fragrances of these oils that are in this blend are going to really help you to overcome some of those struggles that you have with embracing the beautiful thing that it is to be a woman. So Clary Calm, you need to get some. Everybody needs to get some. Okay, number 2 is Whisper. This is actually called the blend for women, and I love this for so many reasons. It has a couple of oils that are in Clary Calm. I'm trying to think what they are. So bergamot's in here also. And what's the other one? I feel like there's one more. Lang Lang. So bergamot and Lang Lang are both in these blends, but this one is totally different. And I just like this one especially. I like to add this one especially in like right before and during my cycle. I just feel like it gives me a little bit extra support during that time. And it's funny, I don't know if this is like a real thing, but I'm just telling you what happens. I know so many women who when they're getting close to their cycle, they just really crave chocolate, and this just so happens to have cocoa bean in it. So there's something about that that is just amazing when you are having your special time of the month. Okay, so how I like to apply it is I actually like to apply it to what we call the auriculars, which is the reflex points on the outer edge of the ear. And guess what? That point on your ear actually has a whole lot to do with reflex points that affect the reproductive organs. And so putting an oil on that actually can support healthy hormones makes just perfect sense. What's really cool is when you put it right there, people will smell it on you, and it smells different on everybody because it sort of goes and matches with your body chemistry. And everybody, after they put it on, it just kind of gives off a different fragrance. Some people say baby powder, some people say chocolate, some people say floral, patchouli. I hear all different things. I think it just depends on you and where you're at in your cycle and what your body chemistry is like. But when somebody comes up and is standing next to you, they're going to smell, it's going to seem like you have a really awesome perfume on. And guess what? Your perfume's actually good for you instead of damaging your hormones. What a concept. So I would say that you definitely want to have this oil in your life for sure. And again, this has a whole lot to do with a love and honor and respect for your feminine side. And I'll tell you what, all of these oils can be used by men too, by the way. Don't get me wrong, because all of us have masculine energy and feminine energy. We need both, and we all have feminine hormones and male hormones in our bodies, and we need both. And so anybody of any gender is going to see benefits by having healthy, normal hormone balance, okay? This one in particular, I think, is going to have a very feminine smell, however. But I just want to tell you, like, if this was the only thing you had, and you were a guy and you were really struggling and you were having lots of like stress, this oil really has a lot of brain calming and central nervous system calming oils in it. And so you could throw it even in the diffuser and inhale that. This is a great one to diffuse for sure. The third oil is a new one that has just come out called Neroli. I really find this one fascinating. This is, I believe this comes from Egypt, I want to say. This is a flower oil. And what you'll notice about flower oils is oftentimes they have skin benefits, they have calming benefits, and they have hormone balancing benefits. That's almost always the case across the board. Think about it. Think about lavender, geranium, ylang ylang, all of these oils. So this is very similar, and this one has been used just throughout history. This was often gifted to a bride to adorn her marriage bed. So it's been known to be like an aphrodisiac, but it's also specifically known to help women transition through changes in periods of their life. So like a transition into puberty, a transition maybe postpartum, a transition into menopause, or whatever, those transitional periods. This really helps to lessen the dramatic things that we tend to associate in our culture. Like we think like menopause has to be this big scary thing full of just like dramatic emotions and horrible hot flashes and all this weight gain, and it really doesn't have to be like that if your body has the right information. So sometimes it just needs a little extra support through those different seasons. This is definitely the oil. And I'll tell you, like, I did really fabulous doing just Clary Calm for a really long time. Then I had my son, and after my son was born, I started noticing I really needed to add Whisper. I actually added this a lot during my pregnancy. And then after my son was born, and a couple years down the road after I was done nursing and I'm starting to head closer to 40, I definitely see a need for Neroli. So this has been added in, and I put this over my abdomen. So I do Clary Calm and Neroli twice a day, every day over the abdomen. What you'll find interesting about this is it has sort of an orangey label to it. Anything that has like an orange label on it is going to be really good to support the section of your body that's like a band around your lower abdomen area, like below your navel. And guess what's there? All of your reproductive organs are located there. And that's the section of the body where you're creative, where you create, your creation center. And so it makes perfect sense that an oil of an orange color is going to have a lot to do with that. And so other options that you might want to include are things like Motivate, Zendocrine, Slim and Sassy. All of those, if you look up what their usage is and what their emotional benefits are, you're going to find a lot of correlations to love and respect for the body and support for the endocrine system. Okay, hey Michelle. So the last product I want to mention, so I mentioned 3 oils, and I'm going to throw in this lotion. Now here's why I'm throwing this lotion in, because doTERRA has this really awesome promo where if you get started with 100 points worth of products and a wholesale membership, that you place another order in February and you get $100 in free oils. And so if you take those 3 products that I mentioned, Clary Calm, Neroli, and Whisper, those 3, and then you add this really awesome Citrus Bliss hand lotion. I apologize because this is actually an older version, an older packaging version. We actually have a much sleeker package for this, but this is one that we had sitting around. But Citrus Bliss is actually a favorite oil of mine. It's very uplifting and very calming, especially if you're struggling with hormone issues. Inhaling that fragrance is really going to help. And so if you add this on to those 3 oils, you're going to be right at the perfect number of points to get yourself in at the lowest point to get those $100 in free oils. So what you want to do is talk to the person that invited you. If you're my personal guest, send me a private message. Say, hey, hook me up with this little hormone kit. I want to get started. What it'll do is it'll be right at about $135 because it's going to include a wholesale membership to doTERRA. That wholesale membership gives you 25% off of all of the retail prices. So you're going to save 25% right off the top as a wholesale member. You don't have to sell anything. You don't have to buy every month. You just do whatever you want to do, whatever's convenient for you. You'll have your own shopping site where you can place your own orders. But what's even better than that is that you're going to get the personal support of the person that signs you up and the whole team that they're a part of. So you're going to have this community to help give you education, give you support. You're going to be able to learn from other oil users, which is an extremely valuable tool. So you're not just buying an oil for some random person. You're not just buying an oil off a shelf. You're getting a whole community of people to help you have success in your journey. And believe me, thousands of us on our team have had lots of benefits to our hormones because of the essential oils. I know one thing that's been a huge benefit in my life is my son, who's almost 4 now. I was told I would never be able to have kids, and I did struggle with infertility for 15 years. So my body being able to do what it's supposed to do has been a huge blessing, and it was really the first time in my entire life since I was age 12, all the way through age 37, I really never had that hormone balance and struggled with my reproductive system, struggled with really with having a good relationship with my own body, with my female side, with my reproductive organs. And it's just been like an emotional and physical healing for me. And so, anyway, what's going to happen is you're going to get that support from that community, and you also get an additional 10 to 30% back in free products every time you order. So when you order next month in February, if you order another 100 points, you're actually going to get $10 in free rebate points, plus you're going to get $7 in free shipping rewards, so that's $17 free. And then you're going to get an additional $100 free. So you're basically going to get $117 in free oils with your second order. So that's pretty stinking awesome. It's a great opportunity. Make sure you ask the person who invited you to watch this, or ask me if you're a guest of the page, how to get your promo code to get yourself set up with this kit. Next month when you place your order, there's lots of other things that you can do to help give yourself success with your hormones. I would definitely say that using frankincense daily under your tongue, that's the oil that's going to support the gland in your brain that actually controls all of the messages that get sent to your body about hormone production. So this would be like kind of helping it at its source. So frankincense is definitely something in the future that you might want to add if you can't add it on your first order. There's also a women's health kit, and I would say especially if you're like 35 and older, you may really want to strongly consider the women's phytoestrogen complex, which is a supplement, as well as the bone nutrient complex. These two things together really help with some extra support as you transition into those like perimenopausal years. And I'll tell you, like, I really didn't think I needed phytoestrogen complex, and then I started using it, and I was super surprised at how much different things were for me. Of course, it's going to be very helpful to be on a good multivitamin, and I don't even like the word multivitamin because those are so much crap, but we do have a 3-bottle supplement system that we use, and so I guess our multivitamin would be like the Microplex because it has all of your like ABC type vitamins, your minerals, so the things that you're lacking in your diet. It's going to fill in the nutritional gaps. Then you've got your fish oils, you've got your like evening primrose oil, all the like oils that are going to support your hormones, your immune system, your skin, all that good stuff, your brain, and it has essential oils in here as well. And then your alpha CRS, which is for cellular health, and we know that we want our cells in our bodies, our reproductive tissue, to stay healthy, especially as women. That's something that we are more and more concerned about as we age. And then for adrenal support and energy, Mito to Max would be one that you might want to think about, and then Terrazyme to help support the absorption of those nutrients. I feel like my phone is dying, and of course I have no plug-in, so I need to stop talking. But basically, there's a lot more that you can do as you begin to add things on to your collection. So we can just start you with 3 simple new oils that you can use daily, and then you'll really enjoy this lotion. Add it onto that little bundle, and then next month we can talk about what kind of a regimen we can set up for you to help really support that goal of having healthy hormones. So I appreciate you guys spending time with us tonight. Make sure if you're a first-time guest, never been to Magic Beans, you're not a Wholesale doTERRA member, make sure you comment that you're a guest and who invited you, or if you're a guest of the page. We will contact you by PM in the next 24 hours to give you a link to a free ebook, and then we'll enter all of you into a drawing to win a 5 milliliter bottle of essential oil. If you're my guest or a guest of the page, then be ready to hear back from me about another special offer because you're my personal guest as well. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back next week. Since we talked about women tonight, we're going to shift focus and talk about men. It's going to be called Man Up, Oil Up next week. So Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, you can be right back here with us, and we'll give you another $100 bundle specifically designed for the man in your life. So bring him with you. It can be date night on the couch in your jammies, and you can watch Magic Beans next Sunday night. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great night.